And we are back at the at-home store for round 2 of our Halloween shopping. I was actually at the Houston at-home store and I wanted to do a video there. I was there for work, but I got too busy. And that store was amazing. Everything was laid out beautifully and well organized, unlike my store here, which is kind of a hodgepodge of the merchandise sort of everywhere. But as we walk in, we can see an overview of that merchandise. Let's go ahead and take a closer look at some of this stuff. Don't believe we saw the statue of the Grim Reaper there in our previous walkthrough, which was when they had just started putting things out. So if you did watch that video, you're going to see a lot more stuff this time around than we saw the last time. I think this is probably the majority of the stuff. There is a little bit of bare shelf space in some of the Halloween aisles, so I imagine there will be a bit more stuff, but probably not a whole lot. And of course, this is our warning to always buy what you want early in the season if you see it, because you never know if it's going to be here later. Example of that, I saw a cool vase with a face on it, put it on my Instagram. Check me out there at Happy Haunter if you're interested. And I didn't see it this round. Look at this throne. Oh my gosh. Sort of skeleton. Maybe it's kind of a reaper sitting on a throne. That was $500. We're going to get to see it again here toward the end of the video, so if you want to take a closer look, be sure to check it out there, or of course on their website where you'll see all the pricing. So if you see something you like, I'm not going to dwell on checking on the pricings of everything. I'll point out some here and there that I looked up, but in general that would just take us way too long. So if you're interested, check it out there. Look at this sort of groundbreaking skeleton hand. I'm not sure why he's holding a dripping skull that's much smaller than him, but I think they put it on backwards because you would think that the skull on the base would probably face the same direction. Didn't they have something like that similar in the past that had a lantern? I think that would have looked better. I love the eyeballs on this skeleton guy. That's what drew me toward him. And then I realized it's the set that's holding the coffin. I've always wanted one of these. Maybe it would work great in a graveyard scene. You know, I do like my graveyard scenes every year. That is quintessential Halloween to me, of course. But I tend to have my grave diggers in the scene, and it would look a little weird if there was a skeleton toting a coffin. But maybe not. Maybe have to incorporate skeletons and the grave diggers some year. Who knows? That's what these walkthroughs are great for, is getting these ideas to incorporate in our displays every year. Of course, I like to mix up my display, try and do something different each year, or at least not do the same thing 2 years in a row. So I'm always trying to mix it up a little bit. That is an amazing garden cauldron right there. It's very, very heavy. I think that would be awesome as a planter. Ooh, look at this skull. I like the way it looks sort of molten, like it's been through a fire. And I'm guessing the eyes are red. Yes, of course they are. That'll probably help you see it, because in the dark that's going to be kind of hard to see. Little bowl for candy, and it did actually say something. The audio was so low though that I couldn't quite catch it on my microphone. Sorry about that. Love this fountain. That was one thing that I was thinking as soon as I saw it, gosh, I need that for my yard. But then I saw the price tag at $129. It's probably worth it, but I think we could DIY that for a lot less. That's a really nice little tombstone with the skeleton angel. I love the busts themselves. I can imagine both of these like on each side of a fireplace mantle or something. Don't like that one eye only lit up. I feel like there are a lot of defects in these products. I don't know if it's because they get a lot of use here in the store with people testing them, or if they're just in general poor quality. Because as we go through the store, you're going to see that quite a bit, which is very unfortunate. We do have that inflatable tree. I remember seeing that several years ago, thinking it was amazing. I'd like to see some different versions of it, though. It seems like they have brought that back so many years in a row. A little innovation wouldn't hurt them. I mean, they've done a good job with this variety of tombstones, so that is nice. And of course we have pillows. I love decorating with my pillows, changing them out every year to match whatever theme I've got going on in the house. They've got a really good assortment this year. I'm pretty excited by that. I love that long spider pillow. I could have used that when I did spiders last year. Well, I didn't really do spiders as a whole theme, but part of a complementary theme to my witches inside. I might do spiders again outdoors this year. I've done that a couple of years ago, mainly with the inflatable spiders, but the reason I want to bring it back again this year somewhere outside is because I got a giant spider animatronic for outside. And I can't wait to share that with you. In just a couple of days, I will be releasing that video probably on the 15th to coincide with a certain vendor's launch of products. So if you're interested in seeing that, make sure that you are subscribed and have that bell notification turned on so that you can be alerted as soon as those videos go live. They do have a lot of inflatables here at the at-home store. Again, it was kind of hard to see here. You know, I hate to harp on how my store sucks, but the Houston store had them all on the floor, easy to see in a big aisle. Anyway, let's take a look at this guy. My goodness, I cannot believe how long he just keeps talking. I had to finally just walk away because I didn't know when he was ever going to stop talking. I do like that they have a large inflatable dog to go with the large inflatable cats that they've had for several years. It kind of looked a little cheesy though. I'd like to see some more versions of that in the future. I'm not sure how much of this pink merchandise I want to see in the future though. Obviously, they have seen what Michaels did last year and they want to jump on that bandwagon, because clearly this is a demographic that I guess Halloween hasn't considered before, and you don't want to leave all of that profit just to Michaels. But really, how many people want the pink Halloween decor? I will say, though, that I love that little teddy bear, even though it has that jeweled eyes. Look at all the sparkliness. So, I mean, it's kind of fun. I can see how people might like it. The pink actually might go well with, you know, a Wicked theme, since that's so popular this year. I've seen last year, I remember somebody did a Wicked Christmas tree. That tree there just had reminded me of it. I thought that was pretty amazing, and we could probably easily implement that again this year. I did a witch Christmas tree several years ago. I ended up giving it away in one of my giveaways, so if you're interested in those, I haven't done one in a while. I'll have to do one again here pretty soon, but you have to be subscribed to win the stuff in the giveaways. But anyway, I did the witch themed Christmas tree, and I thought it turned out really great with the beautiful green ornaments on it, and a witch's hat and broom, of course, and even some witch's shoes at the bottom. All of that sort of stuff that you can find at these hobby stores, not hobby, but decor stores, I suppose, like the at-home store. And I think I got a lot of those ornaments from Old Time Pottery, which I believe has changed their name now to something else. I'll have to go and check them out because they also put a lot of merchandise out early. I mean, here we are at mid-June, and we are fully stocked with Halloween. Is this Summerween, though? I know that that has become a popular concept this year. I mean, I guess it's been a concept for many years, but I've seen it advertised in stores as Summerween. But is it just going to stay out until full Halloween at this point? I don't know. That witch there that was floating, they have assembled her incorrectly. It's supposed to look like she's floating a bit more, but I bought her from CVS last year for $129. I remember thinking, and I got a lot of comments, that was a bit pricey, especially because she's not a huge animatronic. Here they are selling her for $149, so a bit of an increase there. I think we're going to see that around the board a lot. You know, I've been worried about the inflation and all the tariffs, especially since a lot of this merchandise comes from China, how that's going to affect everything. But maybe that's why this merchandise is hitting the shelves early, because they knew they had to get it in before all of those tariffs really took effect. I don't know. I'm just worried that a lot of this economic uncertainty is going to cause our pricing to go much higher than we've seen it in the past. But who knows? I could be wrong. I've heard that Home Depot was trying to keep their prices low again, but maybe Halloween is a loss leader. I don't know. It brings them a lot of business, I imagine. I remember when I first did a walkthrough video for them, was it many years ago at this point, and getting a lot of comments that people didn't even know Home Depot had Halloween. Now everybody, of course, knows Home Depot does Halloween. They've got some of the greatest merchandise. But, you know, it brings people who might not otherwise be in their store in there just for the Halloween stuff. If you are interested in Home Depot, I believe the last couple of years they did a reveal of their lineup in mid-July as well. I was invited to partake in that the last couple of years. I didn't see an invitation come through this year, so I'm not sure if they're doing one or if I just got left off the list. I can't imagine. Maybe it's because I haven't hit that 100,000 subscriber mark yet. So if you're watching this and you're not a subscriber, I would greatly appreciate it if you hit that subscribe button. I'm getting so close, but I've been saying that now for a couple of years, where I've just been hovering over that 92,000 mark, give or take, every year. So maybe we will just finally get around to that mark. And I always say, as soon as I hit that mark, then I can finally stop making these videos. So if you hate listening to my voice in these videos, another reason to subscribe. It'll let me reach that goal and finally feel like I've accomplished something and can finally give it a rest. But for now, there's no rest for the wicked. Let's keep looking at this merchandise, making these videos. There are a lot of stores that we will be visiting this year. At least I hope so, because I have noticed a few of the staple stores have gone out of business since last year. I know the Pop Shelf store had some really fun merchandise. I drove by them the other day and they were no longer there. I don't know if the whole store's gone out of business or just that one. But then there was also the And That store, which used to be like the Christmas tree shop. Again, I don't know if it exists somewhere else, just not near me, but it's unfortunate. I guess even if these stores are going out of business, hopefully we'll find other stores picking up the slack. Who knows? But we'll also have other fun adventures as we lead toward Halloween. In just a couple of weeks, we're going to be heading to CreepyCon in Nashville, Tennessee. We went there last year. That was a pretty neat sort of Halloween convention. We did a lot of filming for a video, just never got around to making a video on it. We did put some of that content in one of our live streams. Hopefully we'll get to doing some live streams again here pretty soon. But that was fun. Of course, we've already bought our tickets to Halloween Horror Nights in Universal. Again, I don't think we did any video on that last year either. We just got so busy. Last year, I ended up going to Halloween Horror Nights not only in Florida, but also in California. So I got to see how they were different on both coasts. We also went to Not Scary Farms and the event that they had over at the Queen Mary. It was really great. I had so much footage. I just was so busy and never got around to making videos for it. I don't know if it's too late. If you want to still see some of that footage, I'm happy to post some videos either as we get toward Halloween or after Halloween when things slow down just a little bit. But the Queen Mary was an amazing adventure. They actually let you film going through the haunted houses. Same with, I think, Halloween Horror Nights in California lets you film inside there too. I'm not sure that we did. Anyway, this year I will try and do my best to actually put up some of this video footage that we take. Sorry for the rambling tangent, of course. These 23 or so minute videos, it's kind of hard just to talk about merchandise the entire time, but I do like those flaming lights. I don't know if those are plug-in, like a regular light bulb or battery operated. I should have checked. I had just assumed that they were regular light bulbs, and I was meant to go back and purchase some before I left, and I completely forgot. Another great thing about these videos is you can see what merchandise you want before you actually go shopping and make yourself a shopping list. Look at that. This is kind of like a portrait effect where her face changes. Very neat. Anyway, back to the flame effect. I am trying to do flame effects in my garage display this year. If you're not familiar with my haunts, I do a few different walkthroughs down my driveway and then at the garage area. That's where we have our Halloween party every year. And this year, of course, every year it's different. I'm doing a sort of underworld speakeasy, and there will be flame effects all around. I can't wait to show you that as we get closer. There, of course, is the lady that almost gave me a heart attack earlier. I did not realize she was going to jump. I was just going to brush her hair out of her face, and of course it activated it. I was blinded by the press me button, assuming I had to press it, but it must be motion sensitive as well. There was, of course, the pumpkin-headed figure that probably did the exact same thing, which I kind of like better than the the witch lady there. $119 for a 7-foot skeleton. Can't remember how much those cost when we've seen them in the last couple of years, but $120 seems like it's a little high for that. Who put this love thing here with the pumpkins and jack-o'-lanterns? Inappropriate. All right, we've got Jack Skellington pumpkins, of course, and just a wide range of jack-o'-lanterns here. This one looks like it lights up. I don't see a try me button, but I'm sure it has that sort of glittery, glowing effect inside, which is a nice effect. I don't mind that. It looks like most of these will plug in with a little light inside. Some of them look like they have candles as well to give it just more of a finished appearance. Not too bad. Now, I don't like the way they displayed all of these mats. I do love my mats. Got to find a different one almost every year to go with whatever theme I've got going on inside. But putting them on the shelf like this made it really hard to see everything. I'm not sure what they were thinking. Again, I don't think the management of this particular store does a great job keeping up with everything. Maybe that's why some of the at-homes are going out of business. I don't know if you've heard about that, but I was really happy that mine is not, which, given the state of the store, kind of surprises me. Oh, look at this. Happy Haunting. I actually bought a very similar one to that last year from Kirkland's, I believe it was. I like that unwelcome sign with the chains and the skull on it. I did my own DIY unwelcome sign a couple of years ago for my vampire theme. It was a coffin and it glowed in the dark, and I love that. And then I believe it kind of fell apart in my storage shed as I was cleaning it the other day. It will require some repairs if we ever decide to bring that back, which I think I will someday. This is probably not the best time to say, hey, I do DIY videos on this channel too. Occasionally, not so much so lately. I've just been so busy with work, but occasionally we do them. Hopefully they won't all fall apart, but I make no promises. All right, we've got lots of lawn stake decor here. What is this I spy on the bottom shelf here? Hope you brought the booze doormat. So if you watch my videos, that is my least favorite tagline, phrase, whatever, of Halloween decor. I can't stand I'm here for the booze, but I guess at least hope you brought the booze is a little bit different, so my head is not going to completely explode today. Here in the next style, we've got more stake decor, more pumpkins, and it looks like we've got a vampire Stitch, so I guess we're hitting the licensed merchandise here. There's some Snoopy, and of course Nightmare Before Christmas. There's Zero. He lights up. Of course, I think we all expected that because we've seen him for years and years. I don't mind all of the Nightmare Before Christmas stuff, but I do kind of wish that they would come up with some new ideas. I like that inflatable coffin, and this cauldron has a flat bottom, so it sits a little bit easier for all of your cauldron-y needs, I suppose. And we have, the eyes on that spider really glows bright. Got some body parts here, some more spiders. This is kind of like the discount junk bins here at the bottom. It always surprises me when I see the severed head there. It feels so out of place for some reason here at the at-home decor, especially when he's right across from the Snoopy. We've got some more garden-y decor. I like that one's got the Venus flytraps in it. It's sort of that whole mushroomish, wild fairy sort of type decor that we're seeing, and I don't hate it. It kind of goes well with witches, I suppose. Here we have your witches' brooms, which you need to park at the door. And just some more general decor. Remember, we saw these in the last walkthrough, just some generic, cheap, light-up decor. This says it's a skeleton mirror, but really it just has those, I guess, 3 skulls at the bottom. It's not really a skeleton mirror, unless something lights up in it. I don't know. We've got the skeleton wall decor, though. Maybe you can incorporate that in the mirror. I don't know. That would be kind of neat. And just wall hangings galore. We've got Charlie Brown here sticking out like a sore thumb. There's Snoopy and Let's Go Ghouls. I wish they would have kept this with the other pink stuff in that other abomination section. And Hocus Pocus, Salem, etc. Ooh, I really like the Medusa wall hanging. I kind of wish it did something else, though. It looks like it's just a hanging. It's kind of small, but I don't think there's enough Medusa stuff incorporated into Halloween. Harry Potter. I'm surprised there isn't more of that, actually. And Witch's House Rules. I remember seeing that last year. Not really sure what these skeleton hands are. It kind of looks like it would make a neat coat rack, maybe, if you can get those hands to stick out. Lots of just artwork. I love the bat wall hanging. That's pretty neat. And then, oh, table runners. Let's see what we've got this year. They're very glittery. We've got some bats and a skull and so forth. One thing I'm kind of surprised that I don't see are any dishware. Unless it was in the kitchen section, I didn't even think to go look back there, but you'd think if they had Halloween dishes, they would be here with the Halloween stuff. I think I see some Halloween mugs here on the side, which we'll take a look at in a moment, but not really much of a selection, I guess. I'm thinking we probably need to hit TJ Maxx or Marshall's, maybe Home Goods for the Halloween dish decor. And we are going to hit those here in just a little bit. I've heard TJ Maxx has got some stuff out. I've hit Home Goods a couple of times. They had a small shelf, but I know they're going to have a lot more merchandise, so I don't want to do a video just to show a shelf full of merchandise. But stay tuned. We'll take a look at that soon. There's a pink spiderweb runner. I don't hate it, actually. I think it actually kind of looks pretty sharp. But again, it should go back with those other pinks. You can definitely tell this isn't Limax quality. And you'd think that they would change the music up between pieces. Anyway, I guess this is the cheap version of your Halloween Village. Although, will it be cheap? I have no idea. I didn't see the pricing. It just looks a little bit cheaper. Not that that's bad. I will take any Halloween Village I can get. I do like the skeleton armadillo. Those chicks in the nest we saw last time. I think some of these other skeletons were out on the shelves early, so we're just going to skim past most of them. Of course, there's skeleton dogs. Nothing we haven't seen before. I think most of these skeletons are really just things that are in every single store. I do like the turtle. Again, if you've been watching my videos for years, you have seen I incorporate my koi ponds that are all around my house in my videos. And unfortunately, a week before Halloween last year, we had river otters come and decimate our ponds, and I lost all of my fish. It was horrific and devastating. I did see baby otters in my back ponds earlier this year, and I have to admit they were super cute, even though I despise them. But anyway, I haven't seen them since. But what I have seen now are some snapping turtles that have made my backyard ponds home, and I'm very excited about that since I will probably not put fish back in the ponds for some time. There's that awesome bench we saw in our first walkthrough video at the at-home store. Love the bones on top of the skulls, but why doesn't that right skull light up? Again, I'm worried about the quality this year of the merchandise. Before we go, I did want to say a special thank you to all the patrons who help support the channel. If you're interested in joining our Fright Club, be sure to check out a link to my Patreon page in the description below. And that's going to do it for today. I hope you enjoyed this walkthrough of the at-home store. We've got plenty of stores to visit before Halloween, lots of decorating to do, so make sure you're subscribed for that. I'll try not to ramble too much in those videos going forward, but I make no promises. Till next time, thanks for watching, everyone. Take care, and happy haunting.